Welcome to another episode of Breaking and Adventuring, where we dive into the world of Adams County Sheriff's Office, public safety, and the greater community, and just go through all kinds of things. So I'm Commander Sherman, and I'm here today with Nicole Narverud and with Karla Ojeda with Adams County. And we're just going to talk a little bit about specifically Operation Freebird, a give back event that we do that put on at Sheriff's Office. We're in our 22nd year, then also just about the greater need in the community and things that we can do to help. So with that, just a little background, like this event started back in 2003. So long before I was involved or any of us were involved. But there was just a need, especially in the North Denver area, to just get food and services and whatever we could back to the community that we serve. There was obviously a need there. So I know we partnered with Rockies Auto as a host, and we had about 300 to 400 people would show up. And then now here we are where we're getting thousands of people showing up, families in need, the ups and downs, whether it's economic needs or issues or socioeconomic, COVID, so things like that. So just bouncing around, but still trying to provide those services as best we can. So this has become such a huge event in the Denver metro area. So I really appreciate you both being involved with it and bringing your talents so we can continue to grow it. Well, I guess to get us started, beyond a holiday meal, Operation Freebird offers just a variety of resources, and tons of those come in from your area of expertise, Karla. Can you share some of the types of assistance available for those that attend?
Sure. So a lot of the times we have teams from human services there, like child support, our team that can help with public assistance, Head Start tries to attend. We also have a lot of different community partners that attend that offer things. Servicios is going to offer some flu shots. We're going to have clothing, books, housing, LEAP information, because it's LEAP season right now, to name a few. We have about 25 community partners that have RSVP'd for the event so far.
Yeah, that's incredible. And that's, county services, that's private businesses, just any and everything people want to get involved in and really help the cause and help fill the need. So yeah, we originally were hosted at Rockies Auto, which was just a small location at 64th and Federal, for those that know the North Denver area. And we quickly outgrew it. So now, we have a corner of Mountain States Toyota. So they've been a huge partner for us in a host location. And that's important too, because it's still, it's directed towards that core area of need of Adams County. So we're able to still be in the community where we see some of the most need, and people turn out for that. The event provides those in need in that service area for holiday meal resources. And it's grown to encompass just people and families from all over the Denver area. I mean, we get people that get bussed in sometimes. We get, in the past, shelters have reached out trying to get information on when they can bring in people. So it's really become a huge event. So from being involved in these type of events, what kind of impact have you seen, like this event in particular, make? But obviously, any others that you participated in, but both for those receiving the help and for volunteers who come out and participate.
We already talked about the need a little bit. You touched on that. And I think as the years have gone on, the need has grown for a lot of different reasons. And I think other than that, I think Adams County as a whole is kind of growing. There's more people that move in. Sometimes people are just need a little bit of help around the holidays or throughout other times of the year. And so for human services, we try to host some different events to try to help our community out a little bit. We love partnering with you for Operation Freebird. It's always been a really big success. And I think a lot of the community partners and agencies that participate look forward to it, because they usually start getting emails well before the invite goes out to participate in these types of events.
And like, for both of you, have you seen just the energy of people who want to participate, just be a part of it, be part of that give back? What's the response to that been like?
It's been great so far. I know last year when you were heading this up, you probably got more of them. So I'm seeing it for the first time, where there are a lot of businesses, different organizations who want to just provide their employees with an opportunity to give back. So I think the last time I checked, we were like at 125 volunteers. So and I believe she was starting to create like a wait list.
That's a good problem to have.
A fantastic
Yeah.
problem to have. And every day we get one, maybe two emails of how can we get involved, whether it's can our organization donate or can we be there to volunteer? Core Health, which is our medical provider inside the jail, they've been fantastic partners for us. Their nursing staff doesn't get a whole lot of opportunity to engage with our community and outside of working with those who are coming into our jail and maybe
Yeah.
not such great situations. And so they are so excited to have this opportunity to give back. So I think there's 12 nurses from the jail that are like, sign me up. I want to be there a full day. We have
Wow.
our pre-recruits are coming. So they're going to take part. So it's really exciting to see how many people just want to do something.
Yeah. We've even had over the last handful of years an increase of like high school kids wanting to get involved just to get their community service hours or whatnot, but just having that wide range of people who just have a heart for these type of events in general. Do either of you have a particular story from a past event that really captures what Operation Freebird's all about? Like somebody you maybe met or somebody in line or anything like that?
For me, I've only had one under my belt. So I'm sure over the next few years, I'll have great stories. I loved last year just seeing our posse came out and they were just the joy that you saw on the kids' faces when a horse walked by. And because it's so random, like
Yeah.
you're in the middle of the city and maybe not the best part of town, and you just see a horse walk by, and you've got like a deputy that's riding the horse and or a posse member, and they get to see something that they would have never normally seen. We had the rodeo queens there. And so it's not only just an event where they get free resources, but we also infuse some fun little elements
Yeah.
that they wouldn't normally get a chance to be a part of. I mean, they might not even have the resources to get to a rodeo to see a beauty queen or a rodeo queen. So that was kind of cool to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say that from some of the community partners that have participated in the past, and from our team members, there's just a lot of gratitude towards the event, and families just say thanks, because without this we wouldn't have a Thanksgiving meal, or I was looking for a resource to help pay my rent, or like my kids got new toothbrushes because we had that resource there. And so I think like Nicole mentioned, sometimes it's just the little things that maybe we don't think about on a day to day, and we're worried, this event is geared towards Thanksgiving meal. Sometimes those other little things that families pick up along the way help them
Yeah.
out also. So they're very grateful that it's hosted.
Yeah, and I'm the same way. We're just like these little snippets from over the years where I'm just like, oh, that was really cool. Or I know, gosh, it might have been 2021, but it might have been part of the Head Start program. They were just giving away some children's books, and there's kids who
Yeah.
they might not even have a book at home to go through that they're able to pick 2 or 3 books, and their eyes were wide. Or a couple of people who wanted to join or be a volunteer, or get their business involved, but were recipients, way back in the early days. So just seeing that evolution and circle back and people giving back when they had that opportunity, it's been hugely amazing. And of course, being able to see our personnel, county personnel, vehicles, Adams County Fire, just people seeing that in a more positive light instead of just always coming in emergency situations is always fun. So yeah, letting them put on the bomb helmets and meet the canines and just seeing everybody outside of their normal job function is a lot of fun too. So.
I know that Cardenas Ministries also looks forward to the event and
Yeah.
the books and the socks, and they usually have a long line, and kids really enjoy stopping at that table.
Yeah, they do great. I mean, they have tons of tables full of stuff to where, and like you mentioned, some of those families might not otherwise be able to access any of those resources or clothing or anything like that in codes. So Operation Freebird brings together a lot of partners, which we've mentioned. Businesses, nonprofits, volunteers, but can you talk about a little bit about some of those collaborations and how they come together to make an event like this possible? I know Karla, you're a huge, vital part of that coordination. What's that like when we start like kind of in the summertime as you start getting phone calls?
A lot of excitement from people just wanting to know dates so they can hold a space on their calendar, so they don't miss the event. So like I talked about before, there's a lot of people that look forward to it. And I think other than that, I think it's kind of the giving back part of it that they enjoy as
Yeah.
well. At times it can be overwhelming, just getting a lot of either phone calls or emails at one time. But there's some people that participated last year for the first time, and they were kind of taken back by how big the event is.
Yeah.
And just I think the atmosphere in general, it's very fun with the radio station, and a lot of the other resources and community partners that are there. So it doesn't feel that you're there for like a need necessarily.
Yeah.
You're just there having fun. The weather has always worked in our favor the past few years. So hopefully it does again.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel, like something that you have to do. I think a lot of people like want to come to it. Like Nicole mentioned, a lot of people look forward to it,
Yeah.
and you start getting those calls pretty early on.
Yeah. And that's how I always was when people call. I'm like, hey, how can we participate? And we offer this, or, our business is that. I'm like, let's try it. Yeah. Come on out.
Yeah.
We'll see how it works. So that's always been fun. What role does the community trust and relationships build and play into an event like this? I mean, the importance.
Just them seeing us out there is huge. The community knowing that we're not just always, like you mentioned before, we're not just always going to be there in the emergency, but we're also going to be there in the good times. Like we can have fun and we can be a part of something that brings somebody else joy. And I know that means a lot to me in the role that I have, is that I can help bridge that gap a little bit. A lot of folks that walk through there might not have had a great first interaction with law enforcement, or maybe not a great second interaction with law enforcement. But if we can do anything to change that, I think that's fantastic. I do want to give out a shout out to Tara Overholt from our records division, because she is huge in coordinating all of our volunteers.
Yeah.
I don't know how she does it, but she, like I said before, she's got, I think, like a waiting list now of volunteers, over 125, and she has that thing so well coordinated. They all know what they're doing. They're all super excited.
Yeah.
So, and she's got tremendous energy. So I don't know if she like gives them something beforehand, but it is so infectious with that group. And we would not be able to do this without that volunteer support, because of how large this event has gotten.
Yeah.
From the time that we open up those gates at 10 all the way through the time that we have to clean up that lot and make it look like we were never even there. It's all volunteer driven, and I can't thank her enough.
Yeah. And she does it all with a smile on her face. And then
Mhm.
she kind of has them, she's like a mama hen. She's like getting them in
Yep.
place. It's fun to watch.
Yeah.
And I totally skipped over this part. So why don't you both introduce yourselves, just what you do on a daily basis for your career, and then how that has led into just being so involved with Operation Freebird. So Karla, we'll start with you. Sorry, I totally skipped that.
No, you're good. So I'm Karla Ojeda. I work for Human Services here in Adams County, and I'm the Community Resources and Outreach Coordinator. So I provide resources for residents of Adams County, along with information about the programs that are located at Human Services.
And that's key too, because people will come. Obviously, they can tap into the resources we have on site, but then you're a great conduit to like, here's all the other stuff that we have throughout the year, or just other departments and things that are offered. So it's great. So not only are people getting tangible resources, but they're also able to get tons of more information.
Definitely.
And Nicole?
The amount of stuff that she knows is like incredible. Like oftentimes I'll just be like, you can probably help with this. So why I'm not even going to try.
Yeah.
Can you? Yes.
Yeah, she's the county encyclopedia. For
Exactly.
Sure. Yeah.
She's been fantastic. I feel very fortunate. So my role as community relations manager, I'm just about a year into the role, year and a couple of months. And my focus is, again, going back to bridging that gap between the agency and the community, maybe putting on like a civilian face to the agency also. We've got a large professional staff that works for the sheriff's office, and maybe the community doesn't even know how much of an operation that is behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And so I not only help to coordinate those community events to create that connection, but I also help to oversee our whole communications side of the agency. So external communications, public information officer, and then we have a really fantastic community connections team. We got 3 members on that team. So they make everything happen for us on social media. They create all of the content that you see. They take our ideas and turn them into those really cool, fun things that the community sees and
Yeah.
wants to engage with us. It could be as simple as like a post of somebody that we're looking for. Like, do you have tips? Like, we just posted one today. Can you help us locate this person or identify this person? They find a way to make the post engaging so that we can solve those crimes or we can get involvement. So,
Yeah.
great.
And then let people know that we have amazing events and
Mhm.
resources for them as well. So yeah.
Yes.
So it's not always just, law enforcement, bad stuff. It's, just that community partnership. So
Mhm.
that's great for both. Well, Karla, for you specifically, from your perspective at Human Services, what kinds of needs are you seeing most among families in the community right now, like especially during the holiday season?
There's a great need for food at the moment. So I think that this event helps fill that a little bit. Um, People are just needing help with rent. I think just bills, kind of day to day stuff at the moment.
Yeah.
And so, we try to partner and be out in the community as much as possible to help fill some of those gaps.
Awesome. No, and again, you guys are any and everywhere. It's almost like you've cloned yourselves and your team. So it's
Yeah.
amazing to see you out there.
A little plug. They have a food drive going on,
Yep.
which we are assisting with, but kind of helping to architect that whole thing.
Yeah.
So
And any of those
if you have any food items,
load them up. Yeah.
Thanks. Appreciate that,
Yeah.
Nicole.
And in general, how does Operation Freebird help fill some of those immediate needs that you mentioned and connect people with longer term support?
I think because the event is held on a weekend, it might be a little bit easier for people to get there if they're working during the day.
Yeah.
And I think all the resources are in one spot. So not only can they get, stuff for a Thanksgiving meal, if they need any other resources, for the most part, they can most likely find it at Operation Freebird. And so I think it's just very convenient. Kids can come to the event as well and they have fun. So,
Yeah. It's great. They love just, getting high fives, but again, just seeing so many smiles is incredible for that type of event and others like it. Why are events like Operation Freebird so important? It's not just providing a meal,
Mhm.
but it's also connecting residents with resources they might not always access, or just even just face-to-face connection. So,
Yeah.
So how do you, the importance of these things and trying to continue to grow it? What's a good mission behind that?
I think it's always great for the agency to have an opportunity to give back. We get a lot from our community, both positive and negative, but our ability to give back in a way that's outside of what our normal responsibilities are is incredibly important, because sometimes you can get stuck in the day-to-day
Mm-hmm.
mundaneness of our job or the routine, and you could lose track of why you do it.
Yeah.
Right. For example, if our patrol officers are out there and they're constantly working in a district that is high crime, and they don't have any opportunity to really get connected with our community in a positive way, to make a kid smile, or to connect with a senior citizen in our community, and they want to connect with us. So an event like this is a great opportunity for that connection to start. We have a ton of other events that we do. I think we're cresting 90 events this year that we've either hosted or taken a part in.
Mm-hmm.
And in particular for the agency, it's difficult to pull off multiple events like this throughout the year. Not only just because of its size, but you're also asking a lot of your community to donate. We're
Mhm.
asking for money. We're also asking for people to give up their time. So we don't have a whole lot of opportunities throughout the year to do that, just because of the way things happen,
Yeah.
and the way the year goes. So this is the perfect time for us to do that. Capitalize on that giving season, not and being grateful. So it's incredibly important.
Yeah. And I think just even from like the law enforcement officer side, events like this in particular, it's so easy to get into the mundane and just, you get burned out on whether it's shift work or just, you're just doing the same thing over and over. And, you're dealing with you're stuck in like a detention setting, or you're showing up to calls for service that are just,
Mhm.
heartbreaking at times. Events like this were always great because it kind of refilled up that cup of why we get into public service, and
Mhm.
actually seeing smiles instead of, people hurt or upset or things like that. So, even when I go back to teach at our training center, I encourage this, hey, as you get into your career, take advantage of these opportunities, because it'll kind of snap you out of that, lull you might find yourself in of just
Mhm.
the shift work and the business of what we do. And it
Yeah.
gets back into that heartfelt of why you got into it in the first place. So for me, that was always refreshing.
Yeah. I'd
Um,
say too, like with this event in particular, the food box that we purchased from Food Bank of the Rockies, it allows for a, a few days worth of food.
mhm.
Depending on the size of the family, you can probably stretch it for a week, which is nice. And then with the turkey voucher, you can get a decent size turkey. It's $20. So you can get a
Yeah.
really nice sized turkey, and that's a lot of protein. So what we've, I know I can only speak to the last year, but I know the philosophy behind doing that was so that we weren't just providing one meal, we were providing multiple days worth of meals that a family could have that could last for
Yeah.
that time.
Yeah. And I know Food Bank of the Rockies does a great job just sourcing what they can to help,
Hmm.
and meet those needs. Um, and how does Adams County use opportunities like Operation Freebird to also build those relationships through the community? Because again, you're doing this year round. How is this like a good way to really start those relationships?
Um, I think that there's sometimes new agencies that open up in the community that we may not be aware of. And so when they see things like Operation Freebird or like the back to school event,
Mm-hmm.
things like that, through social media, they reach out to see how they can support. And so I think it connects them not only in the community, but to people needing that specific help.
Yeah.
And like you mentioned, it's something different. If you work in an office all day long, they're out in the community and they're able to do something a little bit differently. Um, and I think it's like you guys touched upon some of that giving back as well. Um,
Yeah. No, it's important too to, and as we mentioned, just those resources. It's just not, it's a 1-day event, but it's a way to connect people throughout, the whole year, and throughout their time, either in Adams County, living here or doing their business here. So for both of you, what does community engagement look like to you beyond just these 1-day style events, and keeping that connection? How do you keep that connection throughout the year, and make it cyclical?
I can go first if you'd like.
Sure.
So, Human
Yeah.
Services, I'm part of the community engagement and presence team. And so we're out in the community year round. We have certain sites that we're set up at. We have partnerships with like some other community agencies where we go. And I think just building that collaboration with
Mhm.
different folks, and so that they don't necessarily have to come to Human Services if they're looking for something. So we try to overcome some of those barriers that people may face. And trying to get the help that they need.
Yeah.
And then it's just something different, like events like this or some of the bigger ones. It's just fun, just being out in the community, and that's it. And so it does kind of refill your cup and remind you of why you're doing this work,
Yeah.
especially in tough times, so that, you kind of just keep going and get the help to the people that need it.
Yeah. And speaking of that too, a lot of people bring their families out too to show, hey, to show gratitude for what you
Mhm.
do have in your own life, and also helping those
Yeah.
who are in need as well. Cause I've seen some of our partners bring out their spouses, their
Yeah.
kids to help out with setup and providing stuff, to where just getting everybody involved and giving back is awesome to see. What about for you, Nicole? So just use, not just having 1-day events, but how do you use these things as like a launching point to create those
Yeah.
ongoing relationships?
Well, this is a great event for all of those first-time volunteers to kind of just get a little bit of the taste of,
Mhm.
the volunteering bug or giving back bug. And so we really, we like to capitalize on that to then say, yes, we're toward the end of our season, sort of, when we talk about events, but to say, we're leaving you with such a good feeling. So when I come back around in like May and June,
Yeah.
you're going to want to find a way to work with us for all of our events that we have coming up. So, we have an annual fishing festival that happens every June, and that's turned into a huge event where we work with a lot of community businesses,
Mhm.
to get donations to put into the gift bags. The sheriff, this is his baby. And he wants to make sure that everybody that leaves that event walks away with something, whether you won a prize, the grand prize for the biggest fish, or, whether all you did was just, cast a line. He wants to make sure that you walk away with something and had a good time. And so this helps us to kind of just get people interested in working with the sheriff's office. And whether they don't come back and work with us and they continue to work with Adams County, or they work with both of us, that to me is fantastic.
Yeah.
And then on the volunteer side, we have a lot of our staff this year has been fantastic, where they've wanted to get involved with us and come and support us at events. And you can see the change from a deputy who came out at the beginning of the year to then, and they've been at a couple of events, to all of a sudden they want to sign up for every single event that we have that fits with their schedule. They're smiling, they're having a good time. You see them interacting with kids.
Yeah.
And so you get to see this other side of them that I would have not normally seen, because I always see them at like booking at the jail, right? Or at the courthouse in a very different capacity where they have to be very serious,
Yeah.
So it's great.
Yeah, and it's a chance too to share about, we have so many different nuances in our various departments and agencies, but share about what you do and share your excitement for that. Now, on the flip side, though, for both of you, as people deeply involved in community outreach, what are some of the challenges you see in reaching those in the most need?
Sometimes you just don't know where they are. I think because the county can change so fast, the landscape can change so fast. You can go from all of a sudden 1 year in this particular area there wasn't any development, to the next year now everything's being redeveloped. So the families have been displaced, or now you have an influx of families. So that is a big change from year to year, is finding where the need is. We generally, those who have come to our events, they will reach out and they will say, oh, okay, I know this event is coming up. Or they get to the point where they don't need the service anymore, but they are helping us spread the word. We have had quite a few people this year at community events come up and say, I remember you guys gave me a turkey a couple of years ago. It was so great. Is that event happening again? Yes, it is. Well, I don't need one, but I know a family in need. So it helps. That connection helps us to find those families. So.
Yeah. And what about for you, just some challenges that you see and connecting to those that need it the most?
I would agree with what Nicole said, and the county is big. And so if you don't have transportation, to get to Mountain States to where we hold it, then sometimes that's it. And, if something you're planning on going and something happens the day before the event or the day of the event, you're just not able to make it, then trying to find it. And there aren't a lot of other resources like Operation Freebird that help with the Thanksgiving meal. And so I think we're just limited in what we can do as well.
Yeah, and that was always in the planning stages, just kind of that logistical question of where can we hold it to accommodate the most people, but put it somewhere where people can get there either through public transit or with their own vehicles, or locally to where maybe they can, hopefully they're close to where they can even walk if need be. But yeah, I think the logistics was always just like the first thing of like, how can we get it to those that we really want to make sure can access these resources? Now, speaking a little bit about that, what does it look like behind the scenes to organize a large event like Operation Freebird?
It's a big lift.
Yeah.
But we wouldn't be able to do it without a really awesome team. And I have to actually give all the credit to the folks that came before me. Sherman being one of them. Karla's been doing this for a while. You guys left me with a fantastic framework to work with.
Yeah.
Where it can pretty much from year to year, you guys have got it to a point where maybe we just have to make a small tweak, right? We noticed a bottleneck or in the line, or, we noticed that, how we were distributing, we didn't have enough hole punchers for the wristbands, all the minor things to where the event just continues to operate very smoothly. And that actually leads into those vendors wanting to and the volunteers wanting to work with us, because when it goes easy and smooth, they're like, well, this was fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing blew up, right? Nothing did not show up. Now, like, I don't say that and everything gets
Yeah, you
jinxed,
better knock
right?
on some wood over there.
But, you know, they look at it and they're like, that was the easiest event that I've ever
Yeah.
worked for. So I'm walking away without a headache. I'm actually walking away feeling fantastic about it.
Yeah, that's totally the goal, is to not make it harder on the volunteers and the
Mhm.
vendors, is to make them want to keep coming back. But yeah.
Yeah.
And what about for you, Karla? What's it like for you on the behind the scenes?
I would say I think sometimes people don't realize that we start planning this event in like April or May.
Oh yeah.
And so
Yeah.
sometimes it's concurrent with other events that may be hosted in the community or that we're hosting at Human Services.
Mhm.
So sometimes juggling those can be a challenge at times, but I love it. I love all the events that I'm part of. I love this event, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
No, and we appreciate you. A huge resources. And Nicole mentioned me, but same thing. I just picked up the torch, and I had amazing people ahead of me to show me the ropes. And honestly, I wouldn't want to forget anybody. There's too many to mention who were a part of the previous 18, 17 Freebirds
Mhm.
before I got involved, but they all did amazing work to get us where we're at too. And just, I was very lucky to receive their knowledge and help to
Mhm.
get me to where I was, so I can then just add my 2 cents in. But it
let's
is like
Let's give a quick shout out to
Yeah.
the founders.
yeah.
I'm not sure who they were, but if you're listening,
Yeah.
thank you very much. And you shared a story recently about how when you guys had the turkeys and the families had registered for it and they didn't show up, we actually had deputies like delivering in the very beginning.
Yeah, it was
I
such
mean, and
kind of a localized event where
Yeah.
even like the deputies who worked those areas, they'd be like, oh yeah, they'd kind of get the list and they'd go out and they'd deliver the ones that didn't make it.
It's fantastic.
And we've had people who, they, for whatever, various needs, but they've mentioned like, could you guys do deliveries like you used to? I'm like, now it's grown so much that just, we
can't.
physically cannot do that. We just
Yeah.
don't have the personnel time. Just, it's such a large event where everything has to remain on site, but we wish we could. But yeah, having that type of service involved in that close knitness and originally is amazing. And yeah. And I know, this started under Sheriff Dar, and there was a whole bunch of people who brought it to his attention, and it was just a big lift for a huge group of people at that time to get it where it is now, and all in between. They all did amazing work. But yeah, it's like behind the scenes, it's like a quiet chaos and organized chaos. Like,
Yes.
us and the team were like, oh man, this person showed up late in this. But my goal is always, if nobody attending or the vendors, if they don't know,
Mhm.
then it's a huge win. Like
Yeah.
I'm sitting there, we've got all of our maps and our sheets and things are wrong and I'm freaking out, but
Yeah.
nobody else knows. I'm like,
No
all
one
right,
knows.
it's not that big of a deal.
I would say there's probably a little bit of sweating coming around this time just to ensure that we can cover the cost. Every year the cost of things kind of goes up. And we also want to serve way more families. So that would probably be like our biggest kind of behind the scenes stress right now, is
Mhm.
just making sure that we have enough money raised.
Yeah.
The team does a great job of reaching out to local businesses. We have a huge sponsor in Mountain States Toyota who every year just gives upon
Yeah.
gives upon gives. And so, and we have new partners that are finding us and wanting to donate. And so we'll get there.
Yeah.
We're just a little bit shy, but just continuing that effort of finding those donors to help us cover the costs, because some may not know, but to run an event like this, just to get the food boxes and the turkeys, were right around $34,000. So, so it's a lot to just raise for that, and that doesn't account for any of the incidentals that might come up as far as signage or
Yeah.
and so we do a lot of like, please and will you be so kind, and
Yeah.
calling in every favor that we possibly could to,
Yeah.
aside from steal.
Yeah. No, yeah, we don't want to do that.
I don't want to do that.
But yeah, we're very lucky to have so many good businesses
Mhm.
here and locally in Adams County that do contribute and participate. And yeah, we're always looking for more. So if want to come out with your crews and help. As we wrap up here, just a couple more questions. What do you hope people take away from their experience at Operation Freebird, either participating or attending? And yeah, what do you hope that they walk away with at the end of the day?
A smile.
Yeah.
And like just a sense of peace too, because they might really be stressing about what are they going to do.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people, they line up early because they just want to make sure that they have some food. And it just maybe that sense of calm and peace, like this piece is taken care of for you. You're going to have so many other things to worry about, but maybe just this one piece.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you, Karla? What do you hope people walk away with?
I would agree, and I hope that they just feel that there's help out there and that they don't have to do it all on their own. And it's okay, to attend the event, that there's no judgment or anything
Absolutely
like
not.
that.
Yeah.
Just come out, have a good time, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's great seeing too, like our volunteers, but we'll even have, our deputies or personnel that swing by. They're helping carrying boxes to people's cars. There's just, we're all collectively in it together. So it's always amazing to see. We've mentioned some of the year-round events that you have going on. How can people get involved with you and your team?
So we partner a lot with some of the community partners that we have within our building. So right now we have partnered with Be the Source for our North Pole event. And so we're looking for sponsors and donors for that event so that we can hand out some additional toys to kids and families this year.
Do you have an email or phone number you'd like to give out for where people can reach out to be a part of that?
Yeah, so I can give my email if you'd like.
Go for it. Yeah.
KOJEDA@adamscountyco.gov.
Awesome. So it doesn't go to an inbox that just sits and is empty. It goes right to Karla. So
Definitely.
right to the source. Awesome. So, just encompassing this year, we hope people can come out and attend, get there early. We've mentioned that we've had people who camp out outside the fence as early as 4 or 5 in the morning. And unfortunately, last handful of years we have run out just because we can't project who's going to show up. The team does a great job just getting the word out there, and so we try, as you mentioned, to get as much stuff on site as we possibly can. And so, we will be doing it while supplies last. So, if you'd like to attend or somebody who would like to be there or could utilize the resources, please get there early. So, any last words for anybody or anything you'd like to share about this event or others?
Just a big thank you. It takes a lot to put this on. It's a big ask of our community to help out others because there are especially right now, there are so many organizations that are asking for help. And so to those who have given or those who will be giving or even just thinking of giving, thank you. It means a great deal. Not just to us, but it means a great deal to the person that's going to walk away with either food or that turkey.
Yeah.
Definitely. I'd give a shout out to all the community partners and vendors that are in Vendor Alley because they give up a Saturday to be here and help the community, which I know they don't mind at all. But like Nicole mentioned, they're giving up their time to help others. So
yeah, and I'll throw my hat in there too. Yeah, and I appreciate everybody from both Human Services and other county partners and the Sheriff's Office who are also giving up their time to be there and participate too. So it's a huge lift, and we're all in it together. But again, we're all a part of this community together in some form or fashion. Well, with that, we hope to see everybody on November 22nd, Operation Freebird at Mountain States Toyota at 70th and Broadway. From our hearts to yours, we hope that you're able to make it so we can see those smiles and provide some resources. And then for our regular listeners, or if you're new to the show, you follow us on YouTube or any of the major social medias. And you can reach out to us at communityconnections@adamsheriffco.gov if you have any questions or have any feedback for the show. Until next time, thank you.